it's safe to say, after watching last night's Monday Night Football game between the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills, that the NFL is strictly for entertainment purposes only. And I've been saying this for a long time, and I think a lot of you guys are awake with me as well now. We're going to talk about the game a little bit, but first, before I go into that, guys, please smash me a like, subscribe. We're now 8-0. We're on an 8-0 run on our last 8 best bets for my VIP clients. That means 8 picks, 8 cashes since Thursday night. Or actually, sorry, since Saturday. So we went 3-0 in Saturday college football. We went 4-0 on Sunday NFL football. And last night we went 1-0. So we are now sitting at 8-0. And I'm going to tell you guys, obviously, what we're going to do for the rest of the week. I told you I put a post up on Winnable last night to wait for my call out. I will let you know in this video what the moves are, what the plays are, or where I'm sitting at now, because now it's getting real. Like, we're 8-0. Obviously, I want to keep this streak alive. I want to continue to build our bankroll, and I got a lot of you guys on my subscription for free, and so hopefully you ate a ton of money, you made a ton of money, and you can reinvest and get one of my longer subscriptions. I have a week plan, I have a month plan. Check out the link in the description, or head over to my winnable.com/SpenceLocks. Check out my plans, or at least get my free subscription so you can get a notification when I post YouTube videos and stuff. I don't post a ton of free plays right now. I give away my free VIP 3-day passes, and honestly, I'm on an 8-0 run. So I know a lot of you guys have been messaging me like, yo, Spence, you made me so much money. Some guy messaged me that I made him 4 bands over the weekend. Somebody else messaged me that I made him 2.5K over the weekend. And we're up a tremendous amount of units, like we have not lost. And so I want to keep that streak going. I don't want to just lock in random shit. I'm going to be very precise, boys, because we are very close to the capital of Vegas and storming it and taking that shit over. It's all about building with sports betting, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But first, I want to go over, obviously, the game real quick, my reactions, what I think. And like I said, guys, the Jets were supposed to win that game, and if you had even looked at the money and watched my video from yesterday, you would have seen that 90% of the money in the bets was on the Buffalo Bills to win that game last night. And when I see that, usually it's a red flag, and you just got to think of it, because if you were Vegas, if you were these big, massive sports books worth hundreds of millions of dollars, how would you be making hundreds of millions of dollars? Well, it wouldn't be by paying out the public, guys like us, right? The general public. It wouldn't be by paying us out money, right? So the way that money works is somebody has to lose money for somebody to make money. So everybody loses money, and that's why these companies are worth so much money. It's simple to understand the economic standpoint of it, but for some reason I don't think so. I think some people are waking up, but NFL, especially, guys, is entertainment. And I noticed this when I started my sports betting career last football season in October. So about a year from today is when I actually started getting into all this. And as we got closer to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, and with the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl and the whole Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce situation, and the Pfizer commercials and everything, it was very quick to notice that some things just don't seem right, and it's all about money, which makes sense. So especially these primetime games, guys, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, there's only one game on, right, for the whole entire night. So it's Vegas has all eyes on the screen, on the game. They have insiders on the sidelines. They have people that are ready to pull strings and make things happen accordingly as needed, right? On Saturdays and Sundays, it's a little bit more difficult for them to get that done. There's so many games happening at once. Things can go a bunch of different ways. But I would say your safest bet is college football on Saturdays, with some of the games that aren't top 25 teams, right? Like Alabama, for example. Don't bet on Alabama right now. Like, these teams that are in the spotlight, and like I said, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, when during Saturdays and Sundays, everybody's got their money spread across a bunch of different games. But Monday and Thursday, boys, everybody's locked in on the same game. So I really am telling you guys, on Mondays and Thursdays, be extra careful. Like I said, the the Bills. All the money was on the Bills, and so I was telling you guys, hey, look, the Jets should win this game. And look, that was the script last night. The Jets were supposed to win that game. And what did we notice, right? We noticed all of the penalties coming in on the Bills. We saw a ton of roughing the passers and personal fouls, and we saw fumbles going in the direction of the Jets, favoring them. And we saw missed field goals and extra point attempts. That I don't even know how you can miss an extra point attempt by that much. I've never even knew that was possible. The Bills kicker missed an extra point attempt by about a mile. I could have kicked a better field goal than that, right? So they were just, Vegas was giving the Jets the game, and it makes sense because everybody had the Bills to win, right? So like, how can Vegas do that, right? And they can do the obvious, like have the referees calling penalties, pass interferences, holdings, personal fouls, roughing the passers on the Bills, which they did very clearly. They can also have kickers miss extra points, kickers miss field goals. With player props, they can have players come out of the game as they're about to cash, or if they already cashed, they can have them go negative yards. Things like this. Like I tell you guys, the most popular player props, stay away from them. Jordan Mason the other night, on Thursday night, Seahawks versus 49ers. Everybody had him on the over rushing yards. He ends up getting injured, comes out of the game, and what happened? Then he went right back in the game for one play, so everybody slipped, did not get voided by default, and then he left the game again. DK Metcalf, the second most popular player prop pick of the night to score a touchdown and his receiving yards. Touchdown gets called back, and receiving yards chalks as well. Everybody loses money. And so that's why I really stay away from player props. Now I have a sour taste in my mouth towards player props, and I just give you guys best bets. We're 8-0 on our last 8 best bets, and we're looking to go crazy now. But not only the penalties, not only the missed extra points and field goals and players coming off the field, they did everything that they could to have the Jets win that game. The Jets just couldn't execute, and Perk Rogers did his job, 296 passing yards. He had a hell of a game, probably the best game that he's had as a Jet, right? But at the end of the day, Vegas can't put on a jersey and get out there and catch Perk Rogers dime passes for touchdowns. Lazard, receiver for the Jets, went crazy, but it was him. It was a Lazard and Perk Rogers game, right? Like, if you think about it, the Jets missed 2 field goals, right, and the ability to take the lead. They missed a touchdown drive right on the goal line, right? And they missed the 2 field goals. They have plenty of opportunities to take that game. Vegas gave them plenty of opportunities to take the lead and win that game. And then the last drive, Perk Rogers going down the field, 2 minutes left, throws a pass to the big tight end. He gets rocked, drops the ball, was right in his hands. The next play right after that, Perk Rogers slings the ball down again. His receiver falls down, pass gets intercepted, game's over. Now, I knew the script was that the Jets would win the game. However, I didn't trust the Jets. I trust Perk Rogers. I don't trust the Jets. All right? And so what I had as lock was Jets 3.5. Jets plus 3.5. And we ended up cashing. The Bills won by 3. We had plus 3.5, which means the Jets could lose by no more than 3.5 points, which we ended up cashing perfectly. And I knew to lock this play, guys. Here's another thing, too. Is sportsbook plays are broken into 3 different categories primarily. Now, you can do a lot with sportsbooks like DraftKings or FanDuel or any of the sports books, right? You can do player props on these books too, which is what I actually would prefer because you can do single man entries. The way that these player prop apps like Prize Picks and Underdog work is that you're forced. You don't have many selection, right? You can't do quarterbacks and receivers and correlated on 99% of the apps. Which is what your biggest opportunity to actually cash. But you can't even do that, and you have to pick one player and another player from another team, and it's just not realistic that you're going to win and build bankroll over time doing that, especially because a lot of people are doing 4-man, 5-man, 6-man parlays and player prop slips. And I'll tell you, boys, like, you're not going to really make money over time doing that. So we're doing like sports books primarily, right? Money lines, the spread, and the totals. And so the money line was Jets like plus 100, I believe, right? Which some of my friends ended up locking. I personally, like I said, I knew the script was that the Jets win the game, but I didn't trust the Jets, and so I ended up taking the spread play for my VIP clients. I sent that out, but it wasn't the normal spread. So, like, you know, on your sports books, you'll see like it was plus or minus 1.5 and plus 1.5 for the Jets, right? Minus 1.5 for the Bills, plus 1.5 for the Jets. So normally, most of the general public in the betting community is just taking the line that's on the screen. Maybe they don't know that you can alternate the spread, alternate the lines, similar to how you can do with player props. Like, you know, you get less of a payout, but you can move the lines around. So most people locked in Jets plus 1.5, right? And you would have lost because the Jets, you know, they didn't cover that. They lost by 3 points, not by 1.5 points. And so what I did was I took Jets plus 3.5 points. So they had to lose. They could only lose by a field goal, no more. If they lost by 4 points, we would have chalked. But we ended up cashing, and we took a little bit less of a payout. I believe it was minus 170. But the thing is, guys, it's not about doing plus 400, plus 1,000 parlays, or even, you know, taking plus 150 straight bets. It's not about that. I'm telling you, like, it's about, I think sports betting is more or less about, it's like trading. The market's always open, right? So when you're trading options or you're trading stocks, you go in the market, you make a little bit of profit, and you get out of the market, right? It's about a slow building momentum over time, long-term type of play, investment strategy. And so it takes a lot of discipline. It takes, and some of the things I would say is, you know, you don't bet every game. You find where you have edge, you find where you have leverage, you find where, you know, you have an opportunity to go in and make a trade and make a little bit of profit, stack it up, build your bankroll, and then get out. Like, they want you to stay in, you know, they want you to go in again. You win a bet, they want you to go in again and lose the money that you just made. You don't need to keep spamming trades. I call it, it's literally like you're sitting down trading. And I think if you guys really treat it like that, it's okay. I know a lot of people are like, hey, I'd rather do a crazy parlay because I don't have too much money. But dude, like, by the time you win one parlay or one fat player prop slip, you've already lost so much money that when you do cash one, it's like you're still down money. I realize this, and I was playing with a lot more money on them than a lot of you guys were, but it's just not realistic. And so I would take the straight bets, I would build your bankroll, and I would go conservatively. I would not bet every game, I would not bet every day, and I would just build it up. And then, you know, as it builds up, you can get a little bit more aggressive and increase your unit sizes. But yeah, guys, I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of knowledge and education as well with these videos. So hopefully you can get something out of it. But we ended up taking the Jets plus 3.5. Like I said, I trusted the script. I didn't trust the Jets. And Vegas can't put on a Jets jersey and go on the field and catch those passes at the end, right? Or Vegas can't put on a jersey and kick those field goals. They can miss field goals. They can make the call to have the kicker miss field goals, but they can't go in and make the kicker get it in if he's not going to get it in. Or, you know, they can't make the receiver catch a ball if he drops the ball. You know, that's something. And I think Vegas is really pissed at the Jets. You might see another head coach get fired. I mean, they lost millions because the Jets decided to choke. We didn't lose. And so I think of it as if Vegas is this monster robot, right? Like this crazy cyclops with huge long legs like you see in the King Kong movie, storming, destroying New York City. And they're just spraying everyone down with like these laser eye beams. And then it's just us, and we're just diving into like cracks, right? Like we're diving into cracks in the walls and hiding from the lasers. So it's about getting in, you know, punching Vegas in the stomach a couple of times, you know, being respectful, taking our wins, and living to see another day. It's a slow game, boys. And so we took 3.5. We ended up cashing. A lot of people just take the normal spread line, and Vegas knows that, bro. So, and this is proven in the past. If you just take a regular spread line, they know everybody has plus 1.5. They're gonna make sure that, you know, it doesn't happen, or they win by a certain amount of points, which makes the normal spread lines don't cash. It's crazy, bro, but that's how it is. Like, how do you think they make money? And so we just got to be really smart with our selections, and going forward we need to know that. Now let's talk about, that was a game. It's clearly rigged, it's clearly scripted, but if we know this information and we know how to play it, we can think like Vegas, we can think like the sports books, we can think like the people that are sitting behind their computers, just like you and me. But it's a game. It's a game of mental chess, right? We think like the odds makers, the people that are making the odds, the people that are putting up the lines. You just got to think like them. Like, why are they putting it that way? They want us to lose, boys. They want to kill us, right? It's war. It's us versus Vegas. It is literally war. And I'm in the trenches with you boys, and we're fucking them up right now. And it's my job, as leader of this team, as quarterback, to come in here and throw dime passes to y'all. All right, and that's what I'm doing. I'm studying every day. I'm cooking every day. And I'm making sure I get you guys the best possible locks to make you boys money so you guys can reinvest and get one of my longer plans. That's what I'm here for, and we'll make money all fucking season. And then we got NBA after this. But where are we at now? Where do we stand now? We stand at 8-0, right? And so I'm not going to sit here. I was debating this a long time, right? We got baseball today. We have the Cleveland Guardians and New York Yankees. But to be completely fair with you guys, baseball season wasn't that nice to me. I don't know much about baseball. I've been studying a ton of football, and I don't feel it's fair for me to go and just give you guys some random lock or something that I am not as experienced in, because we're on an 8-0 run, and I wouldn't want to. I don't want to see you guys lose money. I don't want to send out a play just to send out a play. I hope you can understand and respect that. I'm looking out for you guys. So we're going to skip today, and there's a couple of random college football games on that I don't know much about. Those games could really go anyway. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to skip today. We're most likely going to skip Wednesday, and we're going to go and attack Thursday Night Football. And the strategy for Thursday Night Football, obviously, I will have a video for you guys probably tomorrow, a YouTube video, as well as picks and everything for that game. Look, like that game, it's the Broncos and the Saints. I already looked at the lines. Like yesterday, I believe when I looked yesterday, boys, the Saints were the underdog, which is crazy. Let me check right now. I checked last night. The Saints were the underdog, and a lot of people had their money on the Saints. Ding, ding, ding. Red flag alert, right? Yeah, the Saints are plus 105 on the money line to win the game. The Broncos are minus 125, and the spread's set at 1.5. So Saints are plus 1.5. Broncos are minus 1.5. Super massive red flag alert. Crazy, right? Like, we just saw the Denver Broncos get blown out by the Chargers, and we had a best bet on that game. We had the Chargers minus 2.5. Everybody had money on the Broncos as the public underdog of the game, one of the biggest public plays of the entire weekend. What did I say? I saw that shit. I knew it was too good to be true, and I faded it, and we all cashed. And, guys, I'm going to be cooking for Thursday Night Football. I want you guys to take your money and hold on to it. I don't want you to go in and lose it all. I want your next bet to be our next bet. We have a big day on Thursday. Start studying, start looking at shit. Obviously, I'm going to give you guys a ton of information tomorrow. And yeah, guys, like, that's where we're at. I want to keep our streak alive for as long as absolutely possible. Let's make some money. If you guys appreciate the video and appreciate me cooking, I'm going to be able to show me some love, and so that'll make me really, really, really want to give you guys the best that I can give you guys. Thanks so much for your time. I appreciate everybody that's watching so far. Check out my plans in the description, my winnable. Make sure you tap in with me. I will see you boys soon. Spence Locks.